the start of the show
Show at GarryMeyer.com.
Nope, show is not working. Here's Gary, everybody. Hi, Gary.
Alan, listen, this day had that weirdness feel already, and I think this is because of the Taliban. This has really set the whole planet into some weirdo spin, and this will happen once in a while. Is it because we added Twitch? Is Twitch okay?
I don't think we have a problem with Twitch. Ryan, give me a thumbs up if we're on Twitch. Ryan's looking.
Because we just added that platform.
Yeah, Ryan's giving me a thumbs up. I think we're on Twitch. No, I think we're just having glitches today. I'm going to turn my camera off, and you can start.
Alan, let me ask, before you do that, Alan,
ahead,
did you have a lot that was loaded into that opening? You usually have some kind of pre-taped stuff.
Well, today's intro was going to introduce people on Twitch to who Garry Meier is, the famous guy from Chicago.
Okay. Twitch is a platform that is trafficked by the youngsters, and we figured since they probably like to drink and we like to drink on Friday, come on aboard. And this is, if you're new to the program, for this hour, we're animals, we're going to lose our souls. Welcome. And
let me turn my camera off, and it's all you, Gary. I'm going to let you
kick
the tires and light the fires.
I must have predicted it because you light the fires, kick the tires. That's how we get wheels up. I'm already halfway through my drink. I try to pace, but we started talking before the show, and I'm drinking and okay. A lot of people have already checked in. Kellyanne is a mystery now. We're all on the GarrForce not sure if Kellyanne is a male or female. She identifies as a female with the name, but we're not sure. My friend unleashed his wiener. It went straight for my schnauzer. Okay. Thank you, Kellyanne. Here's who has checked in right now. Fred, the bus driver from Clare, Michigan. Fred sent Leslie and me some donuts. Lynn sent me, get this, Lynn sent me the aluminum ice cube tray a few weeks ago. She said, you need something sturdier. She sent me a stainless steel one. Yeah, got the stainless steel one. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it. And Lynn sent me some Kringle from Racine, Wisconsin. It is delish. It's raspberry, one of my favorite fillings for the Kringle. And if the raspberry Kringle was the cure for COVID, boy, what a great world this would be. Let me bring Leslie in because she really has to start the show. After we kick the tires and light the fires, she has to pull the wine condom off to really start the show.
And we've got a nice flat top Chardonnay today. And here we go, kids.
Look how she does that. Ooh, look at that thing. Flew right into the camera.
And unlike other condoms, this one's reusable. And you won't find it floating in the river when
that's right, where a lot of people throw them. That's called the money shot. Okay. Blaze, Donna, Stephen, Doug, Martin from British Columbia, beautiful territory there. Scott, and who else is checking in? Okay, a lot of people have checked in. Thank you for joining the program. We're going to have some, I hope, have some fun today because that's what we try to achieve here. No politics. That's for other people. I know there are a lot of podcasts out there, and I think about 1.5 million of them are about serial killers, and then 300,000 are about getting guys out of jail that they think are wrongly accused, and then 200,000 are about gardening. Well, this is none of that. This is about fun till our daddy takes the T-bird away.
What if we could find us a serial killer who gardens?
Oh, wow. That's
Maybe we would separate ourselves from the rest of the pack if we could
Yeah, Leslie, that's podcast gold.
Okay. Go.
Who predicted months ago that Jeopardy was a clusterfuck? Raise your hand.
That would be...
Yeah. I saw this coming, and it wasn't that hard to predict. The guy that they picked has stepped down because he's got a past that isn't what they want. Right. How you can screw up Jeopardy, Mike Richards. How you can screw this up is beyond me, but they did royally.
Right.
Here's the dilemma, and I wrote about it in my current blog. They're going to have to elevate that Mayim Bialik. What's her name?
Mayim Bialik, yeah.
Bialik. She's got to be the host now because she's the first runner-up. They had her in the stable. If they don't make her the host, the shitstorm's going to really heat up.
I want Ken. I want Ken or Buzzy. Can we have Ken or Buzzy, please?
Or Aaron
Because I hear
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, but he's going to be playing some football. But he seemed to think that he could do double duty.
Okay.
And I
Aaron
bet
is
you
a,
he could do
I
double
bet he
duty.
could. He's a stud. Guy's a stud. But this thing was wrong from the get-go. You don't audition people for a major show on the air, whether it's TV or radio. And we've seen this over and over again, where people use this as some platform to see if people have the chops. To have the hosting job of Jeopardy, you should already have the chops. You don't just put people on there and see if they have the chops. Ken Jennings was probably the best of the bunch. Now, you're partial to Buzzy and Aaron.
Well, any one of those three, because they've actually earned their place. Even Aaron, because he was one of the celebrity Jeopardy winners. So he's got some bona fides in his portfolio. But okay, and Mayim, she's sweet and everything, but she just doesn't have.
Okay. But they've already placed her in the mix. They have to elevate her. She's the first runner-up. And I just want to warn people, and I apologize to Murray Franklin, there's going to be swears and blue material on today's program. That's just the way it is. It happens. I've got to blow out some steam. And swears, you need swears. Swears are that exclamation point that no other word, there are the googly eyes. Thank you, Alan. That really kick it up a notch. Otherwise, it doesn't have that punch. And I need to punch tonight. I really am of the mindset of I want to punch, because there's so much bullshit going on that you need to have the swears.
Well, and you use your swears poetically. You don't just F this, F that, F you, F everything. No. It's got to be used in an eloquent fashion. It's an eloquent swear that we look for.
So you are the producers of Jeopardy, and you don't vet the person that's going to take over for Alex? And you find out after the fact because
you are vetting yourself.
Okay.
Mike Richards was put himself through the interview process and went, Mike, so what do you think you bring to the table? Well, Mike, I think I'm the best.
I'm the perfect person to take over.
What about that podcast thing that you did where you disparaged here once again? Let me give you the whole lowdown, where he disparaged Jews, people with dwarfism, folks collecting unemployment, and women in general.
Okay, wow. What a bouillabaisse. And they couldn't find that. That was so obscure that they didn't know until after they announced that he was the host.
Mike was so smitten with Mike that he must have forgotten. Wow, Mike, you look good in a suit. Thanks, Mike. I think I do.
I do, right. He's interviewing himself. I'm going to give you the job. Well, thank you. I'll take the job.
Thank you.
Right.
So that's the good news, bad news for him. Bad news, you don't get to be the host of Jeopardy. Good news, you still get to be the executive producer. He hasn't fired himself from that position.
Is that right? He's still part of the show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's still going to run it, but, he's going to be the man behind the curtain.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not just about Jeopardy. This is about being in charge of something and totally fucking it up. And I've been the victim of this. Leslie's been the victim. I'm sure a lot of you have been the victim of people that don't know what they're doing, and they just do ready, fire, aim, and they figure whatever, we'll figure it out later. And this is the situation. We've got, and this is the theme of my blog right now, we've got two major clusterfucks, the Jeopardy announcement and the Taliban in Afghanistan. And I don't know what one is, I know, involving a lot of people, and the Jeopardy thing is, okay, it affects really just kind of the few people that are involved in Jeopardy. But this Taliban thing is unbelievable. And I'm thinking, Leslie, maybe we should have spent the 20 years training the Taliban to be nicer people instead of working with the actual other people in Afghanistan. Maybe we should have had workshops of telling the Taliban, hey, here's what we're going to do. If you can act civilized, we'll give you a pickup truck, your own pickup truck. So 10 or 15 of you assholes.
You and your 15 friends don't have to ride on top? Okay.
Yes, don't have to ride in one. You're going to get, here's what you're going to get if you act nice. Pickup truck, flat screen television, nice condo, and unlimited
Air
supply of Snickers ice cream bars.
Oh, that's right. But didn't you throw air conditioning in there?
Air
You were
conditioning.
sweetening the pot just a little bit before, but
And
okay.
that $2 trillion, we wouldn't have spent $2 trillion if that was the way we went. That should have been how we did it, not training the Afghan army and getting all the other people ready for taking over when we left. We went the wrong way. $2 trillion later, we got nothing.
People were questioning how it is that the government folded so quickly. Well, we foresaw that there might be problems with the Taliban, but we thought it would be months down the road. I saw the most telling video, and I wish I could find it and give you guys the link. And if I can, I'll put it on the comments on our Facebook and YouTube. But it was our American troops trying to train the Afghan army. And the guy goes, listen, these guys are stoned like by 9 o'clock in the morning. They're all sitting around doing hashish. He goes, it's like herding cats. And then he looks at a bunch of soldiers. He goes, dude, the helmet gets turned around the other way.
Jesus.
And this is like fairly recently. So they've had 20 years and they still can't even get their freaking helmets on, right?
Okay.
That's what we have.
All right. I'm sorry, but unlike Vietnam, which became a tourist attraction, and that was another cluster F, Afghanistan is not going to become a tourist attraction. It is, in the classic sense, a shithole. And nothing grows there except poppy to make heroin. What are we doing? What the hell is going on? I'm thinking, and I go back to my radio days, there must be a radio executive in charge of Jeopardy and Afghanistan, because this is the kind of situation we've witnessed many times in the radio business.
We can totally snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, because that's what we do. Yeah.
Now, having said that, Leslie, we are on a radio station in Los Angeles. Let's just mention this one seems to be flying right. I'm working for a former boss of mine. He was my boss in Chicago. He's running this radio station in Los Angeles. And I am on Sunday evenings at 10 Pacific. That would be midnight on Central Time and 1 Eastern. Okay, but I'm enjoying this run. Listen, I shit on radio sometimes, but it brought me to the party. I love radio, and I'm just saddened by what has happened in some of these situations. It doesn't have to happen. You don't have to throw it down the shithole. It can still be good if you treat it properly, but you can't abuse it. You can't abuse it and expect it to fly right. And I'm just happy to have this 1 hour show on Sunday evenings, and Leslie is a participant in that show. And I think we're having a good time with this.
I think we are. And hopefully you'll join us, because you can find us online. It streams.
It streams at 10 p Pacific, midnight, and then it's Central, and then it's put on as a podcast the next day on the KABC website, AM 790. Okay.
And all you KABCers, feel free to throw down some comments, and we're happy to have you aboard too.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, man, that felt good. Boy, it feels good to get that out.
Oh,
that's what we do here on Friday nights.
You know, like you said, it takes a while to really F things up this badly. But when it comes to what you're just talking about, the Taliban and Jeopardy, good golly, they were able to screw that up pretty quick.
How? It's new Coke for the 21st century. How do you screw something up that's working, but it's happening over and over again? Okay, I want to just go back to the KABC show for just a minute, because I saw a text come up. Is it streaming? Yes, we just answered that. It is streaming live when it happens. And on last Sunday's show, I had Justin Johnson on, and he has that Canine Hero operation where he has these dogs that were working with the military and the police department, and then he takes them to his sanctuary and tries to get them adopted, because there's no program for that. These dogs do the sniffing of the explosives and the drugs and everything at the airport and wherever they go. And then when they're retired, there's no program. Yeah. That is wrong. Okay, so listener Chuck, boy, I really lost it when I saw this today. Listener Chuck sent me this piece from the internet. There was a dog and it was in the inner lane of an expressway in Los Angeles. It was abandoned and just huddled down next to the barrier, and it had been there for several hours. And this guy saw it, and he got a hold of the LAPD, and they escorted him so they could stop traffic because it was too dangerous. There was not enough of a shoulder to stop and get the dog, so they helped him stop and get this dog that was just hunched down. And he got the dog and rescued it. I'm almost hysterical watching this. And I'm thinking, how do people do this? I know that people treat humans like shit, and it's just tough to watch.
Hey, Taliban, we're talking about you.
Yeah, exactly. It was just painful to watch this situation.
So this is one of my favorite YouTube channels, is Hope for Paws. And this guy's name is Eldad. And he just videos himself going and doing all these animal rescues, primarily around the LA area. They have done some where they've traveled. And yeah, the ones in Costa Rica, you can naturally assume are going to be a lot worse than the ones in LA. But damn, I mean, he's got hundreds of these videos of people doing really heinous stuff to animals, and just
why?
They moved away and they left the dog in the yard, and that was it.
It's really brutal. It's just brutal to watch. And Roberto checked in. Did I say Justin or Jason Johnson? I said Justin. I apologize. Jason Johnson. I'm so worked up because I saw this dog in this video, and it was just sickening that people do this to animals, and it's not necessary. If you don't want the animal, take it to a shelter, please. And
that's where these people from Hope for Paws are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about watching their videos, they all end, except for the occasional, like the puppy died kind of thing, or the old dog had to be put to sleep. For the most part, these are all really happy videos. And then they show them at the end, and they've been bathed and given, cuddles. And now they're in with their forever homes or at a great like rehab facility or something. But yeah, if you get a chance, not when you're watching us, but later on, you can go check that.
ProjectK9Hero.org is Jason's website, and he's putting his own money in, and he's got some sponsors, but there's no program for these dogs that work with the military and the police after they retire. That's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Oh God. And I guess that set me off today when I saw that. This dog, Leslie, was just huddled next to the
I've seen
concrete.
that one.
Have you seen
and
it?
Thank God, and thank God for the LAPD, and they've assisted in other rescues too, like down on the LA River, where it's like, do you remember the scene from Grease where they're racing down that concrete causeway there?
Yeah.
And there's like a puppy got thrown over a fence and left down there. And these people put their own lives on the line to go and save the animals. So it is disturbing, like you said, that people could be that cruel. But
Okay. Well, anyway, listen, I got a text from Ryan, the Wisconsin reporter, and we're going to have Carl from Plover, Wisconsin, because Wisconsin is a bouillabaisse of oddities, and it takes several people to cover the whole state. And Ryan's going to do his report, and Carl from Plover. Do we have Carl? We were having some technical issues with him earlier too.
We're going to have Carl on the phone, and I think Keith has him now. Let me double check. Keith, do we have Carl on the line?
Oh, you betcha. How's she going?
Hey, Carl, I'm sorry we can't see you because it's always good to see your beautiful face, but you were having some issues there, and we decided audio was the best way to go. How's everything in Plover?
Yeah, everything's doing great. The signal up here sometimes is a little goofy off and on there, but it's been a beautiful summer up here, and up in North 51, where I've been spending a lot of time up there. It's just been great. I know you had brought up to me a while back there that misspell on the water tower, but like I had said back years ago when I explained it all to everybody, that we just kind of put a sign out there by the road on 51 when we first started, just to pull over. And I think that's where people got the misspelling wrong and all that kind of stuff.
And what we're talking about is they painted the water tower in Plover, and they misspelled it when they were doing it. That's the water tower there, and you have one job to do, and you can't do that right.
Plvoer. Pullover.
Pullover.
No,
Hey,
think about it. That gets closer back to our sign. Pull over. That's it. Pull over and look at the worm farm. Yeah.
how's the worm farm doing, Carl?
Doing great, man. We had a boomer year. We had more flatlanders coming up here fishing this year. It was amazing. All I can tell you is you could not find yourself a reservation at a supper club past 8:30 at night. You could not get in before then. It was amazing. In fact, there was a 2-week stint there right after the 4th of July that they couldn't even get you a perch fry dinner. Now that's almost sacrilegious up here.
That's wrong.
It was amazing.
Are the relish trays running out
They
then?
were out of perch. No, that's, well, you got the ladies in back making those. They're pretty much ready to go. Unless we have a shortage of celery and good old cheese that we can use up. No, we're never running out of that.
And radishes.
But no, they were running out of perch. I can't tell you how many different restaurants we'd go out to try to get a supper club here, there, and they say, well, the earliest reservation we have for you, sir, is 8:30. I'm like, what? Well, cripes, I'm in bed by that time because I got to go fishing in the morning. So this just isn't gonna work.
What time do you go
doesn't dinner
fishing?
start at like 4?
What time you go fishing?
Yeah, well, no, I mean you normally, when sun up come, it's around 5:30, something like that, 5:30, 46. So we got to get out there before they wake up too much and don't figure out what we're using. So yeah, we normally get out on the water early, so we're in bed by it depends on how the brandy old fashions are working. So sometimes I just fall asleep with a cup in my hand, but we're in bed by 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. As soon as the sun goes down, the skeeters come out. So the skeeters were having landing gears on. I mean, they had the landing lights on them this year. There's some big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some big ones.
A lot of rain up there?
A lot of some rain. We had some just beautiful, beautiful weird things. But one of the weird things we were having is from the Canadian wildfires up north is we were getting real funny looking sunsets. The sunsets normally up north are just absolutely stunning. They last for an hour. They're just so pretty. But with the Canadian wildfires, we just weren't getting that. It was just they were kind of hazy. And in the morning, we'd get up and get out to the boat to go fishing, and it wasn't foggy. It was just hazy out. So the air quality was not all that sharp, and even though it's 10 times better than it would be in any city up there, but it was a little on the foggy side with the air quality. It was just haze over the sunset, so it was kind of disappointing that way. But the weather's been beautiful. We've been having a great time.
All right. So everything else is good, Carl?
And, a quick little reminder for everybody too. If you haven't been back up to the North Woods up in the Minocqua area, I've been revisiting a little bit the Minocqua Bat Water Show. That's every Sunday and Wednesday night, free of charge to anyone when it comes up to Minocqua. It's been going on since 1950. I think it was the very first amateur water skiing show ever done. So this is well before the Dells even started doing all their kind of crazy stuff. But it's still high quality entertainment. And watching, 8, 9 kids standing behind a speedboat, being pulled around, it's really an amazing thing. So it's just my little drop in there. I'm not getting paid for it. So, and I don't think any of the kids do either. They're all high school kids that are in this water ski show that is just amazing. And it's quite entertaining. And so that's a good plug for the Minocqua area. But the whole North Woods with the lake up there in North 51, all the lakes, all the restaurants, supper clubs, have nothing to complain about because they've been really busy. So it's been good. There's been a lot of tourist stuff north.
So the pandemic hasn't slowed anything down?
No, it's probably sped it up in terms of people just wanting to get away. Going to rent a cabin or go camping. Campsites are booked out and all the way up until probably Labor Day. And it's just been beautiful up there. So I highly recommend it. I mean, Plover's a great place, but it's a little farther south. But I'm only an hour 15 from my cottage up there in Minocqua, so it's great. We get up there and a lot of wildlife. I've been out with the loons in the morning, and it's pretty amazing to watch those critters swimming around because they're big birds and they can do a lot of different things, like eat bigger fish than I thought they could.
Oh, when he said he was out with the loons, I thought he was talking about the other fishermen.
Oh no, that's it. Yeah. Well, them too, but it all depends on how early they start drinking. But it's the loons. It's an amazing bird that comes from, I think, Nova Scotia in the wintertime, and then comes back and gives birth to up on our lakes up here in northern Wisconsin. And it's just a beautiful bird, black with spotted. They have that crazy. Well, that's where that term "crazy is a loon." Because they have a cry at night that sounds like they're laughing at you, and it's really something. But I was watching some loons taking some of my fish that I wish were in my basket, taking big old crappies and 8-inch perch. I mean, putting them down their gullets. I didn't think they could eat that big. I thought they ate little minnows and stuff. You're eating all my fish.
Yeah. Hey, I know you like to comment on the Packers. What's that looking like this year?
Well, it's been going so crazy because Mr. Rogers is such a smart man. But, with all of the negotiations and everything, and I know he doesn't get along with the general manager, and that's all fine and good. But, there just has to be a happy medium here somewhere where he's got to do his job as a quarterback and let the other guys do their stuff, even though he wants to manage a little bit more things. He got his ways with a lot of different receivers, so I think we're going to have one hell of a year. I really do. I think we're going all the way. I think it's going to be a great year.
All right. Well, as I've said, Aaron Rodgers is a stud. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, he is, and he's one smart host for. I would watch him every night if he was on Jeopardy. I'd watch him every night.
Yes, and we're secure in our manhood to say that.
Yes, we are. I think we're good. Yeah, we can turn and cough and feel proud.
All right, Carl, I'll talk to you again along the way here.
Well, thank you so much. And I'm so sorry that you guys didn't get to see my beautiful mug, but I'm sporting a real nice handlebar that I've been working. It came from the COVID thing, because I let my beard grow so big. And when I trimmed her all back, I left the old handlebars, and now I'm starting to use wax and everything. And it's quite sporting. Hildy likes it. She says it kind of tickles, tickles her fancy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'll bet it does. That's his wife. That's his lovely wife.
Perfect.
Hey, Alan, is there a way to have a shot of Carl that we can put on the screen at some point?
If he comes back, we can try to grab a screenshot before his signal goes again, if we like. Yeah.
Yeah. Carl, why don't you do that, and we'll try to put your face on at least.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I'll send him over a photo.
Okay, thanks, Carl. Carl,
okay.
It is a good look.
Yeah, I hope we can show it. All right, and let's stay with the Wisconsin theme here and bring on Ryan. Before Ryan gets into his Wisconsin report, hey Ryan.
Hey.
And actually, Gary, I'm going to drop out of the studio for a moment and reboot, because I don't know if I'll be able to play the Wisconsin report the way that this thing is glitching today. So I'm going to drop out. You guys can chat amongst yourselves, and I will be back in a few moments.
And that's what we'll do. Earlier today, Ryan sent me a photo of a necklace, and he said, this is a replica of the necklace from the Titanic. And then he said, my wife is a Titanic fanatic, and that's all I had to hear. I need to hear more of what the hell this is all about. Ryan, what's going on here?
So you were talking last week about, the Titanic and the museum and the iceberg, and then it triggered my mind that my wife, when the movie came out, saw it in the movie theater 15 times on the initial release. She's got the Fox movie studio replica. I think it was from Jay Peterman, of the Heart of the Ocean necklace. That's what I sent. She's got the hair clip. She had a dress made so she could wear it to the movie theater. So she's really Titanic. And we had to when we got married, she had the Heart of the Ocean necklace on, and we had to play the music. It's always quite the affair.
Which dress did she?
Roses.
Yeah, Ryan's painted her naked too, I'm sure.
Paint me like one of your French girls. Yeah.
What dress did she get?
The one that Rose wore in the movie. So
okay, explain which one that is.
The lady opposite of Leonardo DiCaprio. So well, it stands on the front of the Kate
Winslet. Okay.
So when we
Wow.
first got married, I mean, we first met, it was a couple months, and she said, I got to show you something. And we go to the closet, and she pulls out this thing, and I thought, oh boy, what are you going to show me? I didn't know her. And she shows me the Heart of the Ocean necklace, and I went, oh, okay. I mean,
well,
I was
nice. That's nice.
there it is. Thank you, Alan. There it is. It's looks very.
And wait, J. Peterman's catalog offered this?
Yes, it was a J. Peterman. You could get out of the J. Peterman catalog. And I said, who'd you buy it? Who bought it for you? Well, I had a boyfriend back then that spoiled me, so I had him buy it. So
wow, this was coming at you strong all the way.
It was. So I didn't really know what to think about that when I first met her. And then many years later, when they re-released it in the theater, we had to get there really early. She wore a dress with all these other fanatics, and we stood in line and we went and saw the movie. And I was just tagging along eating the popcorn.
Okay, J.
She
Peterman.
didn't make you dress up?
No, I didn't dress up. I just went there as the escort.
Okay, J. Peterman, I could just see him. It is a hoot. It is a replica of the Titanic. It is a hoot, Elaine. Okay, why do you think she was so attracted to this movie?
I think she's an old soul, so she likes all the romance stuff. She likes all of that. So this just, you know, she knows all the lines from the movie, so she just really struck her. So I don't know. She just really likes that, you know. She would, if she had her chance, would go down with James Cameron in that little sub down to the bottom of the ocean. So, you know, and then I know they were making a replica ship. So, you know, she said, well, I don't care how much it costs. We got to try to get on that ship. And I said, well, just hold your horses. So I'm not
okay. We had a discussion about this Titanic exhibit that's in, I believe, Tennessee. And then the iceberg fell on some people. The iceberg continues to haunt.
The iceberg wall.
Yes. Fell on some people. And I said, okay, think about this. This is if Boeing would have a museum for its 737 crashes, because this is a private company that had a major tragedy and it turned into a museum that people want to visit. It's the same thing if Boeing did this with their 737.
We're Ford. We have our Pinto Museum.
Yes.
You can see them all exploding out and back. It's a great.
And Jay Peterman, here's your replica 747 or your whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a tray table from the 737 Max. It is a hoot, Elaine.
As soon as you said that the other day, I thought, boy, I got to go ask her to dig that out. And she didn't mess around. I said, hey, do you think I could take a picture? And before I knew it, it was out on display. There it is. So it's got the certificate. If you see it, says it's from the movie studio replica of what they used in the movie. So it's.
Can I ask how much it cost?
I think she said it was like $250, but you can get it.
250.
Yes, 250. But her ex-boyfriend paid for it, so I didn't, whatever. And now she says they're on eBay for several $100s more. And she said to me this morning, maybe I should get 2 of them. I said, yeah, one's fine.
Well, but aren't they like the Franklin Mint where they never actually give you the real price? It's 7 easy payments of $49 or something like that.
So
wow, that is. Now, did you tell her when I went to see the exhibit at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, and they had a film of them making the Titanic, that I figured out why the ship sank from that little film clip I watched?
Yeah, with the riveters that were too enamored with the camera.
Yeah.
So I told her that. So I think we've reinvigorated Titanic again. I haven't heard for it for a couple years. So I think now we're. And Hank's going, what's that? And where did you do the, he's full of questions. So I think.
And speaking of Hank, the Corcoran family, this family is gold. Gold, Jerry, gold. Tell us about what you saw recently with Hank and what his response was.
So we're at the Catholic Church Festival. So that's where he's going to be going to school. And there's a bag of Beanie Babies. So we're looking at it, my wife, and he looks at us straight faced and said, you have to send this to Garry Meier. He likes these kind of schnauzer dogs. And we both looked at each other and just laughed and said, we will, Hank. Don't worry.
He's a smart young man. You are raising a very smart boy.
So I think he got that from when we found that keychain, and I had maybe the visceral reaction. We got to send that to Gary. So he just put 2 and 2 together.
Yes. Okay. Now, other show and tell stuff. Since you texted me earlier, and I thought with the necklace, I thought, okay, I'm going to show and tell. I mentioned this on the show before when I went to see that Christopher Nolan movie that I always forget
Inception.
Inception. If you've seen the movie, there's this top that plays a very important part throughout the movie. So I go to see the movie with my wife. I walk out of the theater after the movie, and the manager of the theater is standing there and said, "Hold your hand out." And I'm thinking, okay, here we go. And he drops this into my hand.
Hold it up higher.
Where's camera one?
Yeah, there you go.
It's the top from the movie.
Nice Band-Aid too, by the way.
It's Tasmanian Devil.
I thought it was.
Okay, so he gives me this top. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. I just saw the movie, and it's very much part of the movie, da-da-da. Oh, okay. And several years ago, we just heard about the sad death of Dusty Hill from ZZ Top, and it reminded me, we had, many years ago, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top in the studio, and Billy was wearing this compass. Can you see this? This compass.
Wait, it's on a regular safety pin?
Yes.
Well...
Well,
that's wild. Well, okay, it's not quite a regular safety.
Right.
Heavens to Betsy, that is interesting.
So he's wearing this, and I said, wow, that's really cool. And he goes, here, you can have it. And I thought, wow. Now, I don't know if any of you remember, or some of you remember, every car seemed to have a compass on the dashboard. This is way before GPS. Do you ever remember going in? I never had one, but getting in a car and they had that compass?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's always bouncy like that. It was always a bouncy kind of compass on the front of the dash.
For you people watching on Twitch, this is the way we live before all this other technology. God damn it.
And the picture I accidentally showed is from Keith. It's his Titanic. And if he wants to pop in, this is his Titanic. I'll let him explain.
What do you mean? It's his what?
Go ahead, Keith.
That's my Titanic. Keith said he didn't know what to do for show and tell.
Yeah, I said, Keith, we're going to do show and tell. I don't think I have anything. Okay, you've got something. Explain what the hell. Where did you get that?
I built it actually totally from scratch.
You didn't?
Yeah.
That's a kit that you built?
No, it's not a kit. It was all balsa wood, so I built it completely from scratch.
Hokey schmokels. Look at that thing. Wait.
God.
Ellen, put that up again. Look at that thing.
Wait, so was it a kit, or did you start whittling yourself? How did?
No, I didn't quite start whittling. It was all like balsa wood and stuff. So you go to the local hobby shop, get a bunch of balsa wood, and I just eventually carved it out of that.
How long did it take?
Probably about a little over a year and a half, something like that.
Okay, Ryan, how much would your wife pay for that?
She'd pay a lot of money. I gotta get that picture and to say, wow, this is really.
I think I have a buyer for you, Keith. Would you be surprised to learn that that's worth $4,000?
I would actually, but I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to take that. Yeah.
And Hank would want it in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hank wants it, and I'm going to get the Schnauzer puppy, and everybody's happy. Everybody's happy.
That's pretty cool. That's unexpected. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I never heard this about Keith, that he built that.
Oh my God.
What was your attraction to Titanic, Keith?
It's been unexplained for a long time, but I think my explanation of it would be that I was 3 when they discovered the wreck, and so I was just always into it, like from that point on, and it's always been a lifelong fascination for me. So it was enough of a fascination that I spent a year and a half building that model.
I guess. What's the T-shirt you're wearing?
That's Rocket City. That's Huntsville. That's where my family lives.
And your family, this is not a joke. Keith's father is actually a rocket scientist.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my my first attempt at a show and tell. Was going to be my dad's trading card from the Space Center in Huntsville.
Wow, let's get a close up of that. Wait, hold on.
Oh, that's cool.
That's your father?
Yeah, he's a docent at the Space Center in Huntsville.
Wow. Okay. Woo. This is jam-packed.
Then I realized I could one up Ryan, so I thought I had to
yes.
And with that, Ryan, I'm looking online, and you can get Titanic Heart of the Sea necklaces for as little as $19 or $945
Wow.
for the diamond and stone version. So her boyfriend must have really liked her. You got a steal, dude.
I did.
Is there a real gem in there?
I think
This one is made with actual diamonds.
Yeah, but what about your wife?
Actually,
No.
this is cubic zirconia diamond. So
Yeah.
those aren't real diamonds. Those are cubic zirconia.
Yeah.
By the way, I should also mention that I have a piece of coal from the Titanic, but that's in a box somewhere, so I couldn't find it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
all I've got handy is my little U505. You know, I don't have a Titanic, and I paid to make this. I don't remember what it
Oh,
cost.
that's one of those machines at the museum.
This is from the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've been in that submarine, and I'm thinking, how in the hell did these guys spend more than 2 minutes? I couldn't last 5 minutes in that thing. I was so claustrophobic, and that was with the door open in a building, let alone under the sea.
The
what do you
booths
have
were
left?
about 4'5" or something.
Yeah,
too.
and the bunks were very tiny. I'm thinking, oh my God, how did they do this?
What do you have?
Well, I didn't know
Leslie?
we
You
had
have
a
show
theme,
and,
but
you have a show and tell, right?
Leslie has a
because
show and tell.
We
Yeah.
just found out before the show, so I grabbed the closest things I could that I thought you guys might find interesting. We've just come off the Olympics, and I found this given to me by a former sportscaster in Chicago, Phil Rosenthal. He covered the Nagano Olympics back in 1998, and he brought me back the official condoms of the Nagano Olympics. And there you have them right there. And they've never been opened. It's still got the seal. If anybody wants to give me an offer, I might be willing to part.
Well, then I got the FunJoy, the rings to hold. Okay, these are the rings that hold the sock on if I want to play naked Nerf ball in Wisconsin. And I got Mr. Nipple.
Right.
That Ryan sent, right?
Yep.
Have you used those yet? And just gone to the grocery store and stood in the refrigerated aisle?
Yeah,
No?
to see if the high beams go up and I'm protected. Not
Look
yet.
at me, I'm smooth. I'm very
Look at
smooth.
me.
Saw a picture somebody had of some new mannequins that arrived at a department store, and they had beer bellies and nipplage to give you the real effect of what a man looks like wearing the shirt. So we have that to look forward to.
Great.
The other thing I brought today is a brick, and it's a purple brick. It's a purple brick from a hotel that used to be in Lincolnwood, Illinois.
My
it's
hometown.
where Leslie and Tim spent their wedding night. And it was a really kind of a gaudy thing. And then about 2 months after we got married, Alan Dorfman got shot in the parking lot of that same hotel.
Okay.
And there you
And
go.
it was the first murder. It was the first murder in Lincolnwood's history.
Wow, that's special. Now, by gaudy thing, you don't mean your honeymoon night. You meant the brick.
Both.
The whole thing was gaudy. Okay. Oh, nice.
Too bad Titanic hadn't come out yet.
Okay,
Instead, I think we watched Porky's.
Wow, I'll bet you did. That's what she said. Okay, before we carry on, let's pay homage to the fine sponsors of this program. First, the great people at Bettenhausen Automotive. I wish they had Bettenhausen in Afghanistan. Those mopes wouldn't have to all be on one pickup truck. What do we got, Al?
Adventure just got bigger at Bettenhausen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat, and certified megastore in Tinley Park and Orland Park. See the all-new 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L right now during the Make This the Summer event. Bettenhausen has the new Jeep Grand Cherokee in stock. Now, make it yours at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
And if you need, that's Bettenhausen, great people. And if you need a mortgage or a refi, you call Team Hochberg. That's the man, David Hochberg. They have a free consultation available to guide you to what you're looking for. And then if there's business to be had, okay, great. But the consultation initially is free. And there's a lot that goes into this as far as buying or refining. And you don't want to be in the hands of a bad person. That's why you go to David Hochberg and his team. There are the numbers on the screen. And interest rates are still low. If you're buying, this is the time. And if you don't have cash, he has a way to get around that as far as if the cash offer in front of you falls through, you want to have the 21-day close. He'll explain that to you. He can tell you about veterans loans, your credit score, all that stuff. There are the numbers from Team Hochberg. And thank both of them, Bettenhausen and Team Hochberg, for their sponsorship of this program. All right, Ryan, you are going to do a Wisconsin report.
Well, let's see and get our fingers crossed if it runs.
Okay.
Let's see. We're going to add it to the stream. We're going to make it full screen, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed that it actually runs and that I've got the audio going. Let's see. Here we go.
Here it is.
Here it is. Audio is playing. Here we go.
Yep. It's Wisconsin, yeah, hey.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan, and it's Friday. This week's Wisconsin updates are going to be around food and drink. Some of it good, some of it bad. But to start with, there were some kids in Waukesha that were selling alcohol at their lemonade stand thinking it was sparkling water. Now, this is the reverse of what many of us did as kids. Once we drank all of our parents' vodka, we filled the vodka bottle up with water. This was the inverse. They thought it was water, but it was really vodka they were selling. So when someone bought some of it and realized it was alcohol, they called the police, and the police came and unfortunately disposed of all the alcohol. Maybe the kids were thinking, hey, there's this GarrForce show on Friday, the cocktail hour. We need to make sure everybody in Waukesha has plenty of lubrication, and they wanted to sell that. I don't think so, but it's a fun thought. Following up from a story last week, I mentioned after my update that there's been kids doing ding dong ditch in Waukesha. Well, specifically a house since April. This last Thursday, they upped the ante, ended up throwing milk and Cheerios all over the porch, making a big mess. So police were called, and they're going to be monitoring the area. So not sure if this was kind of the finale after doing this since April, or it's going to continue. Finally, there is a kid in northern Wisconsin that was poisoning his dad with cow sedatives, specifically sedatives used during labor. He ended up poisoning his dad over several attempts, and his dad ended up with a droopy face and heavy breathing. Droopy face and heavy breathing are good clown names, or maybe the morning show that Gary worked under early in his career. Well, Dad caught on that it kept happening, and then ended up looking and seeing things were missing in the barn, along with they had police test his drinks and found these sedatives. Now, when the kid was confronted, he thought it was funny to poison Dad and to have a laugh. I don't think in the end anybody thought it was funny, and there were charges brought against the kid. Hopefully you have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you next week with more updates from Wisconsin.
Wow. Okay. I thought it would be funny. You put a cow tranquilizer in his drink. What's wrong with that? Yeah, hey.
And it happened more than once. So
I'm just impressed the video ran because it kept freezing when the other one froze.
All right. Hey, Alan, did I send you some other pictures to play too?
You sent me one other. You sent me one other
What did
picture.
I send you? I forget.
You sent me something that is right on topic for you.
Oh, I think Ryan sent me this, right, Ryan?
I don't know. I don't think I sent you this one.
Okay, somebody sent me this. Never buy a dog when you're drunk. That's why I don't order any animals after this show.
Wasn't there a story about someone had a horse in the house? Didn't you do that, Leslie?
Yes, we did. The guy was riding around the neighborhood, and neighbors saw him ride it into the house. He said no, he didn't have a horse in there, but police found it in the bedroom.
Horse in the bedroom. And
really hard to hide.
Here's the money shot on that one. He had prior convictions, and this is where we went, what? He had thrown a mandolin in a pasture. That was the payoff pitch.
We don't know if
in
it's
the
the
pasture.
cooking utensil or the musical instrument, but I'd like to think it's the musical instrument.
Yeah, and that's an offense wherever he lives.
And then he upgraded to the horse. So he got the pasture, and that was just the next step into stealing a horse.
You know what I love about these people? Because I have weird thoughts, and I don't usually execute them. And I think, thank God, I'm not as crazy as a lot of other people. I know I'm crazy, but not that crazy. So I keep it within that frame, and I'm pretty happy when I hear these stories.
Well, I've got a story for you.
What do you got?
Because we've been talking about Gary, for some reason, is not a big fan of the UFOs and Yeti experiences, and I've been trying to tease you into the Loch Ness business. Guess what? A guy in Scotland says he has video proof that the Loch Ness monster is real. I love this man's name. It's Eoin, E-O-I-N, O'Fadgagden.
Watch your mouth.
He says he saw and recorded the monster back in 2020. And according to the official Loch Ness Monster Sighting Register, it's the largest Nessie ever recorded, measuring around 30 feet. And like most previous sightings, of course, the video here is incredibly grainy. The object in question can be seen breaking the surface of the water, floating for a few minutes before sinking back into the deep. Authorities aren't bothering to refute his claim. The fact that the monster brings in around $55 million a year to the local economy may have something to do with that.
If you missed that show where I said I want the government, our government, to lump the Yeti, Loch Ness, and UFO people into one umbrella to study, because it's all the same bullshit. Grainy video. I think I saw something. I don't have any real proof. And if the government is going to go out and study these people, they need to just make it one thing, because they're all the same.
It's pretty much, it's just a variation on the theme. A story out of Oklahoma. A soccer referee in Oklahoma is facing charges for firing off a gun during a match because of an argument over a penalty. Davi Bazeth was refereeing a match at the Pauls Valley Sports Complex when he pulled a red card on a player to eject him from the game. It was a call that both the player and a group of spectators had issue with. Yelling turned to pushing and shoving before Mr. Bazeth ran to his pickup truck and returned with a gun he pointed at those opposing his decision. He then fired off a single round before heading back to his truck and taking off. Police found him a short time later. His arraignment was scheduled for 11 o'clock this morning, so I don't know how things are going for him, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to go well.
As I've said many times, some people who own guns want to use them, and they will use any excuse to shoot the gun.
Want to see my gun?
Yeah.
Here, yeah. And then I'll reholster it. Do you want one more story?
What do you got?
Some good news finally out of this whole debacle that is Afghanistan. And it too comes from Oklahoma. When word of the rise of the Taliban reached Oklahoma mom Allison Renault, her first concern was about the Afghan all-girls robotic team. And rather than just sit and fret, she decided to do something about it. She first contacted the teens who she had met during a conference in 2019 and told them to get ready to move. In the meantime, Miss Renault, who happens to be a Harvard grad and a mother of 11, also called a friend in Qatar, a friend who happened to work at the U.S. Embassy there. And between them, they secured the documentation and transportation to get 10 of these girls out of Afghanistan in the dark of night. Now, Ms. Renault is on a mission to get the other 25 members of this team out of there as well.
Did you say this woman has 11 kids of her own?
She has I think it's like 3 of hers, and then she adopts a bunch. So this is one of those people where the rest of us are going, that's a damn shame. I'm going to have another drink. Allison Renault is out there actually getting it done. So kudos to her, and good luck to all those robotic girls. They're not robotic girls. They're on a robotic team.
Okay, right. That's a little different. People that do that and save animals, we salute you. My God, what is wrong? Okay, if you go with my philosophy, this whole existence is a joke. You're better off. Stop looking for meaning, because every time you try to find it, it's not there. You're better off just going with, you know what? This is a prank. The Supreme Being is pranking us, and I just want to have a good time every day and get through this as best we can. And that's why we have this cocktail show.
And while Gary's drinking, I'll show a picture of Les.
Let's see Les.
Carl from Plover. Here we go.
There he is.
Nice. That is a fine mustache. We've got a great crew. And may I just say that our Keith Conrad never ceases to amaze.
I know. He lies in the weeds there and goes, I don't have anything. And then, I just made this out of balsa wood. Is that something? Come on, Keith.
Yeah, but could you put it in a bottle? Yeah.
Yeah, I literally just made it during the show.
Yeah. And his wife, his beautiful wife, does cartoons and comic books and things. I mean, there's a lot going on here. He's low key, but there's a lot going on. This is one of those. Look at this. I don't think I've ever completely finished the drink. I saved some for after, but I've done the whole drink in this show.
And it's not because we had technical difficulties. Thank you, Ellen, for fielding all of those. And it's always fun.
All right. I think that's it for this week. Wow.
I was going to say, as you're signing off, I'm going to show the show opening after you say goodbye. So for anybody who stayed with us, I don't know, but Ryan's video played, so I'm going to give it a try. I've got the show opening queued up again. You can sign off the regular way, but then instead of going to the ending, I'm going to go to the show opening and then the ending.
Okay, we'll do that. Thanks you. Thanks you. Wow. Okay, this is going to be a bumpy landing,
and the glitches continue, right?
Exactly. Earlier, before the show, Ellen said, you're somewhat well known, and that set me off. Okay, and he's right. And he's right. That's all right. Okay, thanks for listening. Take that complimentary cannoli. Look at it. It's beautiful. That's as beautiful as the cannoli that Tracy sent us. Delicious. Okay, what about the schnauzer, Leslie?
At this stage of the game, I would take a picture of it. I'll send it to Keith Conrad, and I'm hoping he'll make a model of that schnauzer. I think that would be nice.
I'd love to show those on this program.
On a balsa wood.
Have a great weekend. The GarrForce, look at this. We've landed.
Well, and we're going to start all over again from the beginning.
Okay,
with the
that's fine.
Let's see if it runs. Let's see if it runs. Come on, it's going to run, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, baby.
Get ready to have a good time. This is exciting, isn't it?
All right, we're on. Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
Listen, we need something that will play to your strengths of loving the sound of your own voice and talking forever. Podcasts.
Podcaster Garry Myers?
Gary.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary.
But wait, there's more.
See, I'm the guy.
He is Gary Myers.
Welcome to the Garry Meier Show Cocktail Hour Live.
Cocktails, woo, drinks.
This is the Friday, August 20th, 2021 edition. Since this is our streaming debut on Twitch, hopefully some new folks are climbing aboard the GarrForce for the first time and wondering, just what is this? Now, I wonder that myself sometimes, but basically, we go wheels up and start live streaming on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central, 4 Mountain, 3 Pacific, and so on. Gary serves up the appetizers and other assorted nonsense. Leslie Kyling is aboard for news and commentary too. You bring your own beverages or whatnot, and you'll meet more folks along the way. We've been doing this on the GarrForce Live YouTube channel and the Garry Meier Show Facebook page for more than a year, and you can catch replays of all of the live shows on both of those platforms. We had been streaming to Twitter via Periscope as well for some of that time, but Periscope is no more, and we've decided to multicast over on Twitch instead. As we like to say on the show, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. Gary is a Radio Hall of Fame inductee, a long time broadcaster on radio and sometimes TV. He launched the Garry Meier Show podcast back in 2016 and has been podcasting 5 days a week ever since. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday podcasts are complimentary. Tuesday and Thursday podcasts are available to premium subscribers. Check out GarryMeier.com for more, or download his app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Comments are welcome on all of our live streaming channels, and you can also text us at 773-888-2157. Regular charges may apply. Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live. Well, I can't believe it ran, Gary. Thanks for sticking around, everyone.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce